What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full trap Pokemon team. This one is for Patreon. If you like your theme team done, you can check it out in the description of the video under the Patreon link. Hosamina, this one is for you. Now basically this was a team consisting of Pokemon that had a confusing gender type. So with this Machamp, take this for example, it's more of a very buff Pokemon with all the muscles. It's got the jocks on, it's got the junk hanging out. You guys get what I mean. Now real quickly people, just a little small disclaimer. This one is not to offend anyone at all. It's just a harmless Pokemon battle, and everyone is welcome to be who they want to be. And I just thought I'd say that one. And let's get into this battle. So this is a battle on my Discord. If you guys want to battle me and chat on there, and there's loads of stuff to do, that's in the description of the video. Hopefully I remember to put it in this time. So we got a battle against Code. We have a Sableye lead. They're going to swap, and I did a swap too. So it was a double swap. Greatest first turn in the history of Pokemon battling. So now we've got a Ponyta coming out. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's going to have Horn Drill. However, it's not going to have it. Let's go over what some of these sets were. So with this Gothitelle, I wanted to have one Pokemon, well the suggestion was to use at least one Pokemon that used trapping style moves. Now I did do a Pokemon trapping moves team already, so I didn't want to base them all on those kind of moves, so I just did a couple. So with this Gothitelle set, we've got a max health, max special attack set with Future Sight, Protect, Rest, and Miracle Eye. Now, Miracle Eye is there to land it against Dark-type Pokemon. Now, I didn't really want to reveal my Miracle Eye to not early game either, so I was actually planning on using that against the Sableye. Anyway, that was my thought process at the moment. So anyway, got the Ponyta getting hit by the Future Sight. It's very, very bulky, obviously, with Everlight, so my Gothitelle isn't going to do like lots of damage to it. However, I do have Chesto Berry as the item, so I can easily go for a rest off the damage and hit this thing, with another couple of Future Sights. So Ponyta is a physical set using the Flame Charge to boost the speed. I'm going to go for another Future Sight. So with this set, you've got Future Sight, which is a pretty damn powerful attack. And you've got Protect to stall that one turn. And then you could even teach a Substitute if you really wanted to. I've also got Rest as the other move to heal myself off. Now, you could have Sleep Talk as well, but I didn't want to run that. It's too, kind of risky. So I decided to go for the Rest and Chesto. So now, healing off my damage that the Ponyta did to me. And it's going to get hit by another one. I only need one more Future Sight to actually take this one out. The Chesto Berry is going to wake me up. So obviously, this set becomes less viable after I've used my Chesto Berry, because then I'm going to be asleep for 2 turns, right? Alright, so go for a Protect on the swap here, and Ponyta is going to have freaking Morning Sun, so it's going to be able to heal itself off. There's nothing I can really do to this. A critical hit may take it out, but there's no way I'm going to win this matchup, or it's going to take like 5,000 turns, so I'm not really interested in the stall. So I've got to swap out Gothitelle in here and bring another Pokemon to take out the Ponyta. So now bring in Primarina. Now, on this Primarina set, I've got a physical base one. We've got Waterfall, Aquajet, Facade, and Acrobatics with Flyinium Z. Guys, Z Acrobatics has finally returned. Anyway, so they actually had a Grass-type Pokemon, so I decided to go for the Z Acrobatics. Unfortunately, there was only other one Pokemon that I thought they might switch in, which is the Bronzor. So I took that risk, but unfortunately, it didn't pay off. Now go for my Z move. I know the Bronzor is obviously going to tank this one very well. So clearly the Ponyta has Everlight. Clearly the Bronzor has Everlight as well. The Sableye also is a fairly bulky Pokemon. So far they've thrown some fairly tanky Pokemon at me. So go for my Z move on Bronzor. It's going to do nothing like I thought it would. Now, obviously, this is a physical Primarina, Pheromosa. Remember that time I called Pheromosa Primarina for the entire video? So we got the swap out there. I'm not going to be able to do anything against this. It's going to go for the Toxic against my Machamp. Now, as you guys know, I love running my special Machamp. This is my Focus Mist, Fire Blast, Hidden Power, Ice, and Vacuum Wave Machamp. Now, a lot of the time I like to run the Choice Specs one. This frees me up a little bit because I'm running Assault Vest, so I can use some other moves. Now, going for the Fire Blast, it really doesn't do too much, even though the Everlight is making it very, very tanky. So now it's going to go for the Psywave against me, which does a random amount of damage. Actually, a really interesting move to use. It's like a typeless move too, so it's really, really cool. So go for another Fire Blast, and that's nearly going to take the Bronzor out. Now Bronzor's going to go for another. I nearly called that Psyshock then. Psywave against me, and I'm going to be down the next turn. So I was thinking they may bring the Ponyta in to go for a Flash Fire. So I decided to go for the Focus Mist on the Bronzor, either to do some good damage against the Ponyta, and it would still be enough to take out the Bronzor because I do have the No Guard ability, and none of my moves will miss. So Machamp is going to go down to the Poison. I guess it took out a Bronzor, so that was a decent, an eye for an eye, I'd say. Now we've got the Lopunny coming in. So Lopunny, I had a pretty fun set with this. So with this one, I had Dizzy Punch, Thunder Wave, Brutal Swing, and Attract. We've got the Cute Charm as the ability, and the Darkidium Z for Brutal Swing. Now, we've got Max Attack and Max Speed. We've got the Ponyta coming in going for the Flame Charge here. So now I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave on this turn. Unfortunately for me, the Will-O-Wisp is going to land this time, and I'm burned. So that's unfortunate. I did miss the Thunder Wave earlier on. Now I'm going to go for the Dizzy Punch on the Ponyta. It's obviously going to do monkeys because now I'm burned. What I was going to do is I was going to paralyze it, and then I was going to try and get the Infatuation going, but that didn't go my way because I missed that initial Thunder Wave. So Lopunny is really kind of dead weight at the moment, so I'm going to go into Primarina. So now we got the Ponyta go for the high horsepower. It's not really doing too much. I'm going to go for the Aqua Jet now, hoping this will be enough to actually take out the Ponyta, because obviously it's going to be able to outspeed me, and it just lives, unfortunately for me, and it's going to get the Will-O-Wisp off. I was hoping that would miss, to make up for the Thunder Wave miss, but that wasn't the case. So now my Primarina is burned, and it's going to do even less damage. It wasn't really doing a lot of damage before anyway, so it's going to be doing even less damage. So now I'll go for Aqua Jet in case it goes for another Morning Sun, and taking the Ponyta out. So, guys, I've beaten a Bronzor and a Ponyta. This battle is going swimmingly. So now we've got, we still got that Sableye to worry about, and 3 other Pokemon. So now, we got the Mantine coming out, another very bulky Pokemon. Like, a lot of these Pokemon are, like, really, really bulky. Now it's going to start using Curse, and I'm like, what am I even going to do to this? So, we've got 2 physical attackers, both of them are burned, right? We've got my Gothitelle, which is a special attacker. Mantine has nice bulk, so I'm guessing they're probably running something like max health, max special defense, something along those lines, or at least max health. So I go for Facade. That's the only reason I put it on there. I knew there was a chance I would get burned by the Ponyta too, so that was my only really saving grace. So now the Mantine is going to go for the Roost, so another healing move, and another quite stally Pokemon. So I really can't do too much against this. I'm going to go down to it, unless I do like a really big critical hit against it. So I'm going to swap out my Primarina. There's not much point doing this. It's just going to keep setting up, curses against me. So now going to my Delphox. This is a pretty fun set. This was another trapping move set. On this one, it's kind of similar to my Braxion. I use my Kinnykins. So we've got Toxic, Fire Spin, and Wish. However, on this set, instead of running Protect, I've got Recycle and Ganlon Berry. So what Ganlon Berry does, it gives you a boost in defense by +1, as you get in your lower quarter of health. And then you can use Recycle to get your Ganlon Berry back, and just making yourself like really bulky in defense. Obviously, it's a huge gimmick, but it's pretty fun to use. So after seeing that, I actually was able to tank the Liquidation from the Mantine. It's a physical set, and I'm going to get a Ganlon Berry boost there, which was pretty funny. So the only problem about this set is it's sort of like a 5-slot move syndrome. I'd love to have Wish and Protect so I could get my, my health back, and then get the Berry activation again, but that is to no avail. So I'm going to go for another Recycle and get another Ganlon Berry in case the, the Mantine decides to go for another Curse or something like that. Now it's going to go for the Airways, and that wasn't even enough to take me out due to all the Ganlon Berry boosts and me being max health. So obviously the EVs on this one were max health and max special defense. So I was running a bulky set. I did consider running Leftovers and Protect as well, but I wanted to make it a little bit different to my Braxion set. So getting another boost in my defense, I think that's like the 3rd one, and now Mantine's going to go for the Liquidation. Even with all my boosts, I'm not going to be able to lift that, and Delphox is down. There really wasn't much I could do at the moment. These Pokemon were like super bulky. So at least, I guess the good thing about that is I've got the poison off, so it's not going to be able to use Roost forever. It wouldn't have Rest either if it's got Roost. That's another good thing. So now going into Gardevoir. So my Gardevoir is actually a physical Swagger Psych-Up set. So what I wanted to do, I knew after seeing the curses out, I thought I'm going to leave my Delphox in for a while and let it set up a couple of curses, then bring in my Gardevoir and copy them with Psych-Up. So that's going to give me a boost in attack and defense, making my Gardevoir, my physical Gardevoir, quite bulky and giving it some nice offense. So now going for the Zen Headbutt on the Mantine, and that's going to be enough to take it out. So that actually worked in my favor. I was able to steal those stats and use them for my own evil purposes. So now on this set, we've got Zen Headbutt, Swagger, Psych-Up, and Giga Impact. I know the most amazing set on the planet. So we've got Max Attack and Max Speed. So now going for the Swagger on the Mudsdale. It's good. I like it when you use Swagger on Mudsdale. It looks so funny. It's like when you use Focus Miss on Mudsdale, it sort of like turns around and puts its hooves in there. So now speaking of special sets, it's going to be that, and going for the Earth Power. Since Gardevoir's got some nice special bulk, he's going to be able to take that one easily, and Mudsdale has like terrible special attack too. So now going for a Psych-Up, copying that plus in attack. So I was thinking I could go for some Zen Headbutt flinch, but the only thing about that, right, even if I do get the flinches off, it's going to get that stamina boost, and it's going to become like ridiculously bulky. and a lot of my team is physical attackers left. So now going for my Giga Impact hard, trying to do as much damage as possible with no stab, and yeah, I guess that's pretty good. It does close to 3/4. Now I'm going to go down to the next attack, which is going to be a hidden power. I'm not sure what one it is. I'm guessing it's like maybe ice or something like that. And that's going to take out my Gardevoir. So I've only got 3 Pokemon remaining. I do have my Primarina. I thought, well, I might be able to take this out with Waterfall. I might not. Stamina is very, very overpowered. And I am like, I'm already burned as well. So my attack is already half. So go for the Waterfall. And it does monkeys like I thought. And now the Mudsdale is going to be able to get a stamina boost with a +1 to. Now it's got Mud Slap too, which is not only going to be deal some small damage, it's going to give me an accuracy drop. So I'm hoping I can land some more attacks as things to at least take it out, because I don't think Lopunny is going to be able to make the cut here. So go for another Waterfall. It's going to get another stamina boost, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to be very close if I can actually even take this one out, right? I get a flinch on Waterfall, which was nice. I mean, an Earth Power may have actually taken me out from that range too. So go for another Waterfall on the Mudsdale, and that was probably just enough to take it out, and Mudsdale is finding out. So another really tanky Pokemon. Guys, it's like a full tank Pokemon team. Alright, so now we're getting a little bit of burn damage. The last Pokemon we got, I did mention before there was a grass Pokemon that I want to use Z Acrobatics on. That was the Victreebel. So it's going to be a physical set going for the Leaf Tornado, which misses, which is quite handy. I'm able to get like a little bit of damage off there with the Facade. So close to half health. I'm not sure if this thing has Gluttony or anything with a berry, because that could be quite annoying. So now it's going to go for the Venom Shock, and that's going to take out my Primarina with a super effective attack. So now I've got my 2 Pokemon left, my Lopunny, which is not going to be too much health, and I've got my Gothitelle. Now, Gothitelle was the key to me in this battle, so I knew that I wouldn't be able to touch Sableye, right? And I knew Gothitelle would probably draw out the Sableye eventually too. So now it's going to go for Leaf Tornado, which gets a critical hit, which sucks. Now I'm going to go for the Future Sight. Now, my Gothitelle's EVs, I didn't actually mention them. Now, this one was a max health and max special attack set, so overall bulk and max special attack with modest nature, right? Anyway, excuse me, I had something in my mouth. It was a frog. I'm sorry about that. That's the point where I need to use a Politoed. So now we got the Victreebel going for the Stockpile, boosting its attack, its defense and special defense by 1 stage. Now, I don't think that's going to be enough to leave the Future Sight coming from the Gothitelle, especially if it's a sweeping set, and that is the Victreebel down. So that's really good. That's good. So we got one more Pokemon left, which is the Sableye. Now I've been saving Miracle Eye for this entire battle. At this point in the game, I was quite confident they didn't know that I was going to use it. So now the Sableye is going to go for the Protect, which is awesome. I knew not to use Miracle Eye straight away there. I wanted to get my Future Sight going, and then go for the Miracle Eye, and then go for the Protect, right? So that would stall a lot of turns up. So now I've got the Future Sight up, and now the Sableye is going to go for the Shadow Sneak, which is super effective. It does pretty good damage to me. I know that I can get another around it too with another rest. That'd be all right. So now going for the Miracle Eye. So that's going to be able to hit the Sableye. I can go for a Protect this turn, which is going to stall out another turn. Now, I wasn't confident it would take it out, but I was very, very confident it would do lots of damage. It's going to have Metal Burst, so it's obviously a stall set. Now I'm going to hit it with the Future Sight, which does a lot of damage to it, almost taking it out. So it's I was really happy with that. So go for another Future Sight. However, it's going to have Sucker Punch as well, and that's going to be enough to take out my Gothitelle. So now that I know it's got Sucker Punch and Shadow Sneak, that's actually going to help me out a lot. So Shadow Sneak is not going to be able to do anything, right? I know they're going to heavily rely on Sucker Punch. So now they're going to go for the Protect again, which is fine. They're going to just get some extra burn damage on my Lopunny. That's cool. I've got Brutal Swing on this. That's the only move I can hit a Sableye with. Now, what I was thinking was, they're probably going to go for Sucker Punch, right? Let's go for the Thunder Wave to start things off. So I've got the Thunder Wave, and thank goodness it's going to land this time. So that's really good. Now, so they've seen Thunder Wave already. So I'm guessing, at this point I was guessing, well, they're probably going to go for another Sucker Punch again. I haven't revealed that I've got Attract. And after they're infatuated and paralyzed, that'll give me a good opportunity to go for the attack, and I'll probably avoid getting hit by the Sucker Punch damage. Because this is a sweeping Lopunny set. It's not, the most bulkiest thing in the world. And I'm already burned at the same time too. Okay, so I've got both them things up. The Sableye is just exactly where I need it to be. It's going to go for the Sucker Punch this turn, obviously. And it's going to get immobilized by love, just as I planned. And I'm going to take it out with the Brutal Swing. And that is the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. It's some really fun sets on both sides. And let's get into the second battle. Man, I need a drink after this. This was actually a really long battle. So that battle there was, I think it was like 30 turns or something. This next battle is like 40-something turns. Okay, so I've had my drink. Let's get into the second battle. This was a battle on my chat now. Who was this again? This was against Brody. So we have a Meowstic lead. Machamp isn't probably the best Machamp isn't probably the best Machamp. I nearly said Machamp is not the best Machamp. Oh my god! Anyway, so Machop in the world. That was, someone's going to make that. Someone's going to roast me in the comment section for that. Anyway, so it's going to hit me with a Thunder Wave. I got the synchronized heavy little Thunder Wave back. I thought it might do something scummy like that. So now we got the Meowstic going for the Light Screen, which is going to be probably like, a Light Clay user, Light Screen, Reflect, those kind of moves, and it's probably got Psychic as another move or something like that, or Psyshop. Anyway, on this Gardevoir set, as you guys know, I've got Swagger. Now they've seen what I'm going to do. They're probably thinking that, I'm probably going to go for a Psych Up. Going for the Swagger is a little bit of a risky play too. Now we got the Meowstic going for Reflect. So obviously it's set up the Light Screen, it's set up the Reflect. If it's got a Psychic type move, it's probably not going to be staying in. So that sort of sucks it missed the first time because they clearly wanted to get both screens up. So while they're getting that second screen up, I could have got the Psych up if it did hit before. So that's a bit of a shame. Anyway, so now they're going to swap. Obviously, they're going to go into something that's going to be good against the Gardevoir, which is Miltank, very bulky in special events and, quite a stally Pokemon too. So go for the Psych Up. It's not going to do anything because no stats have been, I'm not going to get any stats from the Miltank. So I thought, well, I could stay in here and go for the Swagger to boost its attack. It might have Body Slam, which most of the, the sets do, and it might be able to hit itself. So now it's going to cue the paralysis of the Meowstic. I'm going to get the Swagger up against the Miltank. So Miltank is going to have a decent attack stat now, even if it's more of a stally set, which I'm very confident it was. The Light Screen is going to wear off. So I'm hoping I can get a Psych Up against this thing and then hit it with a, a Giga Impact or a Zen Headbutt. Now it's going to get the Body Slam off against me. Unfortunately, it doesn't get confused. Almost take him out in one shot. So here I'm going to get the Psych Up, which is cool. I've got that. I've got the +2 in attack. So that's pretty good. The only problem is I am paralyzed. So now the Miltank is going to get confused, and it gets through confusion and hits me with Body Slam. So 0 luck there for me, and my Gardevoir is going to go down too. Gardevoir couldn't do anything in that matchup, just pure bad luck there. Okay, so the Reflect does wear off. Now I'm going to send in my special Machamp. Now this has Focus Miss, as you guys know, and it also has Vacuum Wave too. So now they're going to swap out their Miltank, obviously scared of a fighting type move. And we have the Lilligant coming in. So it's like, well, that's not too bad. I've got Fire Blast in this set. Not that it's, very strong. It should be okay against it. So now Focus Mist does a lot of damage, does 3/4. And now the Lilligant is going to go for Sleep Powder. So probably, obviously it's going to go for probably Quiver Dance after this. And start setting up some very easy Quiver Dance boosts against me. And yeah, there really wasn't too much I could do against this. So I thought about swapping here, but I thought, what am I going to do? I might as well just stay in and go for Fire Blast because we all know what it's going to do anyway. So now it's going to go for the Quiver Dance, boosting a special defense and special attack. Unfortunately, I'm running a special Machamp, so that really wasn't going to help my damage output at all. Now, the one thing I did have was my Vacuum Wave. If I could get it in a close range, I could hit it pretty hard. So now it's going to have Dream Eater, which is going to make use of putting it to sleep, which is quite good. It's going to get a lot of health back there. So that's all right. It's like, okay, that's not too bad. If it's going to be just a Quiver Dance, Dream Eater, Sleep Powder set, that's cool. I'm fine with that. It has to kind of rely on putting me to sleep. Anyway, so hitting with the Fire Blast, and we're going to take it out the next turn. However, going for the Vacuum Wave for a little bit of extra damage. Almost takes it out, and now it's going to have Pedal Dance. So I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be the standard Pedal Dance. It'd be something different, but it's not. That's my Machamp down. So I've got to try and get around this set, which is, it's pretty hard. It's got a couple of, I think it's got 1 Quiver Dance up, so it's quite, it's a very good Pokemon. So with this Gothitelle set, you guys know I've got to get the Future Sight up. That's really my only option. Plus, my physical Pokemon are not going to be able to take these moves very well either. So getting off my Future Sight only just. Now, it's not going to do huge amounts of damage. It does need to actually recover some health back. So I need to go for Protect. I know that I've got this now. As long as it doesn't get any Dream Eater damage back, I'm going to be able to take it out. It can go for Quiver Dance if it likes. It's on it to a small amount of health to actually live this. So go for a double Scumbag Protect. Doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to stall it out. It's going to go for another Quiver Dance. So that's going to boost its special attack and special defense again. So I was like, that's not too bad, right? I can go for another Protect. And now the Future Sight is going to be able to take it out. So that's down. That's cool, getting rid of that. So that was that wiped out most of my team. So that nearly wiped out half my team. So now we got the Combustion coming out, which is probably going to be a speed boost, Protect step. So now it's going to go for the Protect, boosting its speed. Now I'm going to go for the Future Sight here. I was actually quite happy they went for Protect because Future Sight is actually pretty cool. It gets one of those moves that actually busts through Protect. I like the moves like that, so you can get around some stally Pokemon or Pokemon just using Protect to see what moves you got. So now it's going to be a special set going for the Fire Blast. That's going to take out my Gothitelle, so that's fine. Gothitelle pretty much did its job there. Took out the Lilligant, and I put a Future Sight down on the Combustion. Now, Combusken is going to have to be pretty bulky to lift that one too. So going into my Primarina here, I've got Aqua Jet on the set and I've got Waterfall, so I was pretty confident I could lift most things that actually, going to throw at me. So now it's going to go for the protecting itself, and I'm going to go for Waterfall. Obviously, that's not going to be enough to take it out because of protecting. However, Future Sight is going to kick in, and they obviously didn't realize that it actually busts through defense, and that's going to take out the Combusken. I think the most they could have done to me would have been like Focus Blast. If it was indeed a special set, it could have been like a mixed set with High Jump Kick too. Either way, I feel I would have lived the attack. So now we've got the Lopunny coming in. It's cool. We have both that Lopunny. It's going to go for the Solar Beam. So like, okay, maybe it's got Power Herb, but it doesn't have Power Herb. So now going for the Waterfall, it really does underwhelming damage. It doesn't have, it doesn't have the greatest attack step. So it's going to be about a 3-hit KO. So now we've got the Lopunny going for the Solar Beam. It's going to be about a 5-hit KO against me. Obviously, Primarina is very, very bulky as well. So go for another Waterfall. It is not in range for Aqua Jet to take it out. So now it's going to have Dizzy Punch as well. Mine, actually, it's quite funny because mine had Dizzy Punch too. Going for the Waterfall, taking out the Lopunny. So that's good, getting around that. So I've taken out probably the biggest threat, which was the Lilligant. I still have the Miltank left, which is like incredibly stally too, which I have to, kind of figure a way to get around that. So now we got the Meowstic coming back in, probably going to try and set up some more screens and stuff. Primarina is going to have to swap out that. It just really doesn't do enough damage output. So I thought I could swap in Delphox here and get the Toxic up in the Fire Spin so I could, prevent it from setting up any from screens. And by the time like it goes down to those moves, it's it's going to go down and the screens are not going to be there. So now going for the Toxic on the Meowstic, that was really good. Important that I got that off first. So that is Poison. So its stalling capabilities are going to go down with the Reflect and Light Screen. Now on this set, you guys already know what this set is. It's basically like my Kinnighan set. So now they're going to withdraw their... I knew they'd bring it back in the Miltank because they're going to use Heal Bell again, right? So Toxic has way more PP than Heal Bell. So I thought, well, if it comes right down to it, I'm just going to stall out the Heal Bell, and they can't, they won't be able to keep stalling with Milk Drink and Toxic, Milk Drink and Heal Bell if they do have that. So now going for the Toxic. Now I do have Ganlonbearer on this as well. I was hoping I could maybe get an activation on this and continue to recycle it, and then the Body Slam will not do as much damage there. The only thing I have to worry about is a Paralyze from the Miltank. So Body Slam still does pretty good damage coming from Miltank. It hasn't got a bag attached stat either. So I'm getting some nice damage with the Fire Spin and Poison, but I already know that it's probably going to have Milk Drink, and we've already seen that it's got Heal Bell too. So going for a Wish myself, impending the Milk Drink coming from the Miltank and the Heal Bell. So now it's going to chime its little bell and heal up all the paralysis. The paralysis, the poison from the Meowstic and the Miltank itself. So that's 2 Heal Bells gone already. So this part obviously was, was fairly long like something else. So now we got the Miltank. It's going to go for another Toxic. It misses, unfortunately. And now it's going to be able to go for a Body Slam again on my Delphox. So that's going to paralyze me, which really sucks. And unfortunately, it actually doesn't put me in range of the Ganlonberry. That would have been amazing. And it's going to heal me up with a Wish. So that's unfortunate. So now a Milk Drink hasn't used Milk Drink now. So maybe it doesn't have Milk Drink. Maybe it's like just a trolley set. And that's going to go for the Miltank. Milk Drink is going to go for... Milk Drink is going to go for the Miltank, guys. Miltank is going to drink some milk and heal itself up. So this is a really long part. I had nothing to take this Pokemon out. All I had was a physical Primarina with Waterfall, which is going to do monkeys. It could just use Milk Drink all day. So I thought this was my best option here to maybe deplete the PP of the Milk Drink and the Heal Bell. So I had no other options to go into. Anyway, so Miltank's going to keep continually going for the Body Slam, obviously hoping to get paralyzed and then it can take me up. So what I was thinking to get the Miltank in like a viable KO range, after it uses Heal Bell, and then bring something in to try and take it out. So now it's going to go for the Body Slam yet again. I'm not going to go for Wish anymore. I'm sort of over the stall, and I'm going to get another Ganlonberry here, which is going to boost my defense even more. So that's fine. I've got another damage from Fire Spin, but of course it misses. So Miltank can either go for the Milk Drink here, or go for the Heal Bell, or take me out with the Body Slam. Thankfully, it's going to go for the Body Slam, and that's going to take out my Delphox, which is good. Out of both these battles, they're very, very tanky. A lot of them are very tanky, stally Pokemon. So now we've got the Miltank almost going down. I can bring in my Primarina and just go for the Aqua Jet, or I can bring in my Lopunny and go for the Dizzy Punch. So here I decided to go for the Dizzy Punch. I had a little plan, and I had a little idea of what their last Pokemon set would be too. It was whether I could get around it or not was another thing. So now we got the Gigi, which is the Meowstic. Now I've got on this set Dizzy Punch and Thunder Wave. So very, very luckily for them, I don't think they even took the thought I don't know. There's a high chance that Lopunny can actually have Limber, so they went for Thunder Wave straight away. I thought they actually may just attack me with Psychic, but maybe they forgot that it had Limber, that it can have Limber. So I went for the Darkinium Z on this one. This was coming from Brutal Swing. It really wasn't the hardest hitting move of the game, but it's the only thing that I really had against it. So it's actually good to use. Now, on my team, I did have 2 Z Crystals. I know that's kind of weird, but I wanted to use those fun moves on both these Pokemon, so I sort of just alternated between them. Anyway, so go for the Darkinium Z. Brutal Swing on the Meowstic, just missing the kill. And now Meowstic can go for just a Psychic, I guess, which I thought it'd go for the first turn, considering most Lopunny have Limber. It does over half health. Knocker doesn't do under half health, but it does get a special defense drop, which really sucks. And I get a Paralyze too, so that was very unlucky. And now the Lopunny is going to get hit by another Psychic. Thankfully, I do not get paralyzed there because that would have been plain BS, and I'm going to take out the Meowstic with the Brutal Swing. So, the last Pokemon they've got is quite a dangerous Pokemon too. So, after seeing the Lilligant and the Miltank, I was thinking, yep, this is definitely going to have Shell Smash. It's going to be this set. So, I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave. I know they're going to go for the Shell Smash. Obviously, they kind of need it to get around my Primarina. So, that's going to boost their special attack and special defense by a lot, which is fine. Now I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave. I thought that'd be really good to go for, and that's going to at least slow it down a bit, or maybe I get it paralyzed. I might be able to get one of my Pokemon to do a little bit more extra damage. So go for the Thunder Wave. It doesn't miss this time, which is really nice, and that's pretty good. So that's the best I could. I could have gone for the Dizzy Punch, but there was no point, right? The only thing was, I wish I had a female Lopunny then, because I could have gone for a track, but not that it mattered. It's going to go for the predictable Ice Beam and take me out there. So now the last Pokemon I've got is the Primarina. I can basically tank all of its moves, normally if I was on full health, but it does have a Shell Smash up, and after that, still going to outspeed me. And yeah, I know that I'm going to go down to like maybe a Hidden Power Grass, or even a Hydro Pump or an Ice Beam is going to be enough after Shell Smash 2. So now it's going to go for the inevitable Hydro Pump, and that's going to take out my Primarina. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. They were fairly long. Like, I haven't got a interesting multi-battle at the end too, so you definitely should stick around and watch that one. Enjoy the bloopers.